Oh, feminine, I don't know how you do it to me. Or maybe I should say I don't know how I do it to myself. I find myself thinking about you so often. And especially lately, I find myself thinking about what an incredible jerk I've been to you. I feel like in many ways I feel like in many ways that I was not in control of my own self. I think it's what you talk about when somebody's in another dimension or caught in ego. Though I don't really know, and I just I feel like it's a cop out to say that I wasn't in control of myself because I can look back and see that I was. And in many times I felt like I knew what I was doing. It was like watching a train wreck about to happen, and like it feels like you could pull the switch and flip one train onto another track, but somehow you're just frozen there. And you just watch them crash into each other. I can think of so many times that I could have said something better, could have made better choices, could have gotten out of this mess that I'm in, could have supported you and been everything that you deserve me to be, and yet I didn't. I acted childishly. And what's worse is I acted childishly and then had the arrogance to act like I knew better than you. Like my way was the only way to do it, and that you were somehow harming me by suggesting that I just open my mind just a little bit. There was even a time, and to be honest, it's weird to say, but in some ways I feel like I was almost under some sort of weird spell. I can remember so many times that you'd just be being kind to me. And there was really nothing it was unassuming. It was, I know you. I know you were just being friendly, but I don't know. I would get to talking about it with one friend or another or karmics, and they would all tell me that you had some big scheme or plan, or it was just some trick or manipulation. And I believed them because, to be quite frank, that's all I've ever experienced from anybody in my life before. And it was a lot easier to trust what I've known than to have faith in something that could be beautiful, that is beautiful. And I really don't know what to say at this point. I spend a lot of time up at night. Not even, I feel like in some ways I'm sleeping, but in other ways I'm not. And it's just thought after thought coming into my mind. I'm just mortified of how I've behaved. And I keep trying to think about how to start a proper apology. And it just feels like, it feels like I'm caught in between knowing that if I don't start, then I'll just procrastinate it away like I have so many other things, but I don't know where to start. I've done so much. I don't even understand how you could still have faith in me or love me or be so kind. I mean, I guess you talk about having healed so much, and it must be that. Though I'm not there yet. I want to be. And I remember you saying something a long time ago about you have to want it in order to have it. And I remember you telling me that you got to find reasons that are bigger than your fears. That's how you accomplish things. That's how you grow roses instead of weeds. And it's funny because I don't know, I guess I keep thinking back to everything we've been through, and the funny thing is, as stuck as I feel both with my karmic messes and with how to say anything to you at this point, I still come back to this thought. It's almost like my heart speaking it. It's saying like, I'll never be sorry for loving you. And I'll never be sorry that you love me. I'm just sorry that I hurt you, and I'm having such a hard time. I guess I'm having such a hard time reaching out to you because I can't stomach the idea of hurting you more. And in this state where I feel like I'm awake, I'm still not sure if I know exactly how to tell, but I feel like whenever I do awaken, I look back and I see how many times I've fallen back into dark nights and ego, and I just don't want to have another time where I genuinely reach out to you and I mean it, and then something happens and I get triggered and I get reactive and I fall back into my ego and I hurt you again. I'd rather be quiet and have you think that I don't care at all than to feel like I'm intentionally trying to manipulate you. Especially as I can think about so many times feminine, I wanted nothing more than you to be proud of me. To tell me I'm a good man, good boy, good person, a good partner. For you to see that I'm not completely failing, or at least to pretend like I'm not, so that you don't see how bad it really is. But then I see that in doing that, I hurt you too, both by giving you faith that I was farther ahead than I was, and in some ways by making it look like I wanted to make you jealous, or make you feel like the karmic was somehow able to provide me something that she's not. I don't want to hurt you anymore, feminine. I also know that as much as I try to stay away and I try to convince myself that somehow it's better to do that, it just feels like it increases my thoughts about you and the dreams. Sometimes I feel like I can see you even almost like an imaginary friend, but I don't know that that can be real. I feel like I'm crazy in some ways, and that's another thing that makes me wonder if I should be reaching out, because if I don't even know what reality is, if I can't trust myself, then how do I know I'm really even in love with you? I feel like it's true. It feels like the only true thing I know. And yet I don't want to rush into you if I can't fully say that that's true. Especially because, if anything, this karmic situationship has taught me is that I don't really know much about what it means to be in love, or what it means to even be a grown up, to even be an adult. And I watch you glowing up in and succeeding in ways that completely defy everything I've ever known. You don't follow any of the rules. You're radically different. You're authentic, and you flout the traditions. You speak up when most people would be quiet. You stand up for people that need it. You're kind even to those who are cruel to you. And you embrace absurdities like this twin flame journey. And the funny thing is, feminine, I don't even want to tell anybody, but I feel like it's probably one of the truest things I've ever felt. And I know most of all that you are the least crazy person I have ever met. The least dramatic, the most loving. I want to be like that. I intend to be like that. I'm going to keep going, and I'm not going to give up. I don't know what to do right now, because I don't know how many cycles I've got to go before being awake, being conscious is consistent, and consistent enough that I feel like I can reach out to you without hurting you, without dropping back into an ego cycle and looking like a jerk. I hope by the time that I get there that you still have the faith in me that you seem to right now.